should someone like Fuentes' crew be part of the movement? I say 100% yeah. Because even though we disagree with the parameters, you look at the impact they've had much more impact than most people. You know, a lot of the debunkings that we did on social media, they were part of the debunkings.
They were, definitely, they were. And I don't know everyone who's part of the crew, but you know, there's this guy, Sam Parker.
Yeah, he's
great. He's great. He's been very supportive, and he's also contributed to a lot of the debunkings.
Sam Parker, Chief Trumpster, Lucas Gage, Jake Shields. These guys have...
Lucas Gage, bro.
With Lucas, I respect him a lot, right? Because I interviewed him. If you look at his background, right? Yeah. He's got a military background.
I'm familiar with his background. He's a very interesting guy. He has an inspirational story.
He does, yeah.
And I admire and I respect the fact that he was able to, to reflect on his actions and wake up and say, I was used and abused essentially to use and abuse other people on the behalf of the interests of, these corrupt elite. I heard him for the first time. I never knew who he was. I was in your space. Do you remember what? You're not going to remember, of course. You do spaces all the time. But it was quite early on. And, the IDF Unit 8200, they'd have these fake Zionists that they're real Zionists, but they would come in and they would pretend to be like well-meaning Israelis that they just want to talk. And she kept going on and on about wanting to have coffee with the Arab neighbor. And this was going on. And I remember I interrupted and I said, let's move on. She's hijacking the space. Yeah. And I remember you were well-meaning. You were like, no, let's give her I want to hear her out. Let's see. But then Lucas Gage blew a lid and he was like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear your bullshit during a genocide. And you're talking about having coffee with Arabs in Israel. Like, this is an apartheid state. Fuck you and your feelings. And I loved it. I loved it. But then I saw, he got canceled.
No, but what he got cancelled for was manipulated, right? So if you look at that video...
He was speaking metaphorically.
He was speaking metaphorically, but it was actually snipped out of context. So like, imagine taking this 2-hour podcast and they cut up certain bits and then make it look like I'm anti-Semitic or make it look like you're anti-Semitic. So that's literally what happened.
Yeah. But he does post videos all the time of Adolf Hitler. And it makes it very... I appreciate history. Yeah. I'm not afraid to listen to what Adolf Hitler had to say. Yeah. But so look, makes you feel uneasy a little bit. And I guess that's the point, right?
No, but that's what he does. He tries to make people feel uneasy. So look, like for example, now I hold the position that Jewish people are oppressed, right? Throughout history, including the Holocaust, right? And I believe in the Holocaust. And I think anyone who speaks about the numbers is kind of diminishing the pain and suffering that they went through. So if it's 6 million, or if it's 5.2 million according to Norman Finkelstein, or it's 3 million according to some academics, whatever the number is, a lot of people suffered, right? That's one perspective, right? Now their perspective, and this is why I'm open to free speech. Hitler was, I know people won't want to hear this, Hitler was a Catholic, right? So Catholics and Jewish people have had beef for a very long time.
Throughout, I thought he was atheist. I didn't know he was Catholic.
No, he was a Catholic. Well, this is why this kind of... within certain movements, there is this kind of thing with Hitler, right? Because he was a Catholic, right? And so, I might get in trouble for talking about this. But anyway, and so for that reason, people think that he was those people sometimes think he's on the right side because of that kind of affiliation. So they think that, look, it was the Jews who were causing a problem in Nazi Germany. And Hitler, being a Catholic, was dealing with the same problem that Catholics have dealt with Jews for thousands of years or whatever. So that's their perspective. So they don't demonize Hitler completely for that reason. By the way, I'm not saying Lucas Gage has that position or anyone else. I'm just trying to give a holistic perspective. Yeah, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth. My own what I'm seeing myself from my own readings of history and my own understanding of what it is.